Hey guys, so today is going to be a get ready with me chit chat type video. I am going to be filming a bunch, did I say that right? Yes, filming a bunch of videos today. I haven't been feeling too good, so if you can hear the weirdness in my voice, I apologize. I'm not sure if it's allergies or I'm getting sick or what, but anywho, I wanted to film videos today, so I figured I would chit chat with you guys while I get ready, so let's get started. So my hair's still wet. I just put mousse and hairspray in it, so I'm just gonna pin back this part of it so that it could dry, because if I don't, it'll be getting in my face the whole time and that's not gonna work. I'm gonna start off with primer. This is the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I don't have too much of it left. I do like the primer, it's okay, but it's not something that I would immediately repurchase. Lately I've been more into like the mattifying, well that's pretty mattifying, but more of like the super mattifying and the pore filler. For foundation, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me New Matte and Poreless. This is for normal to oily skin. I have it in the color 120 Classic Ivory, which is typically what I run in most Maybelline foundations, or most foundations in general. Classic Ivory is usually the color that I am. The only thing I don't like about this foundation is that it doesn't have a pump, so it's kind of hard to regulate how much you got, so that's probably a little too much, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. And I'm just using the Real Technique stipple brush. I had primer. Why didn't you guys tell me? I'm actually filming this on a Friday. You guys probably won't see it till sometime next week or while we're in LA. If you don't know, we're going to LA, California. We're actually not staying in LA. We're staying in La Mirada, which is in Buena Vista, like right outside of Anaheim. We're staying over there mainly because the majority of our trip is going to be like Disney. Well, Universal Studios is not over there, but mainly Disney is right in that area, like 7 miles from the Marriott that we're staying at. So we decided it was better to stay out that way instead of staying like in LA or anywhere in that area and then commuting back and forth every time we were going to the parks and stuff. So this concealer, I actually already have started to pack up my makeup and stuff for the trip. So I packed away my usual Maybelline Instant Age Rewind brightener. So I'm trying this one out. I had it in my collection. It's the L'Oreal Magic Lumi highlighter in the color Light. So this isn't super like color correcting, but as you can see, it's pretty light. And I'm just going to use the Essential Foundation brush from Real Techniques to kind of pat that in. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. It's just like planning this trip, making sure I have all my ducks in a row, working of course. I'm actually going to be doing an entire video dedicated to my nursing job, kind of what it entails, how I got into it. I talked about it before on my vlog channel, but I still am continuing to get questions about how like nursing school was. I actually think I talked about nursing school on my vlog channel and how I got in and how that went and stuff like that. But I will talk to you guys more about like my BSN program that I was in and how that went and how I went about getting the nursing job and all that good stuff. I'm going to do a whole dedicated video on my vlog channel to that. So if you're not subscribed, the link will be down below. I also do Weight Loss Wednesday every week. It doesn't always end up being on a Wednesday, but I do Weight Loss Wednesday, and that's just tracking my journey of trying to lose weight over the next year or so. So if you're interested at all in any of that type of stuff, of course I do vlogs and mommy videos and stuff like that. Again, that link's down below. For eye primer, I'm going to use the sample of the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This stuff is actually really good. I had to, I don't know if it's just because it's a sample or if the larger one would be like this as well. I had to take out the stopper to actually get product out of it because I felt like with the stopper in, it wasn't giving me any product. And like I said, it could just be because it's a sample. If the larger one was like that, I couldn't imagine investing that much money into it for it not to work. So just, you know, hint out there. I'm going to go in and set everything. To set my under eyes, I'm going to use the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder. This is like the pinkish tinged one that has a tiny bit of sparkle in it. Like nothing too significant. I don't ever see it translate when I put it under the eye, but I mean, if you're not into, if you want completely matte, this one would not be for you because it definitely does have like little specks of glitter in it. But as I said, it doesn't translate. For face powder, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. This one was in the color Light 4 to 5. This one no longer is carried. Instead, they carried the Dream Wonder, which I do have a backup of in Classic Ivory. I just haven't started to use this one until I finish this one up, but essentially it's supposed to be the same thing. I'm going to use a Real Techniques multitask brush for this and just buff it kind of in my skin. For brows, I'm going to use my Dip Brow Pomade in Soft Brown from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I actually have not used this very much since I bought it, so this is going to be kind of a trial for me because I don't know, I usually use my e.l.f. HD Brow like gel cream stuff. I love that, but it's packed away, so I'm just tapping it off in the lid to get as little amount of product as I can, and then I will fill them in. My brows are looking a little cray right now because I'm trying to let them kind of not grow out, but like grow out so that I could get them threaded before the trip. I'm going to use a sample of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is actually not my favorite. Lots of people like it. They say that, oh, it doesn't make your brows crispy. I actually find that it does make my brows a little crispy. But that's okay, they need to be tamed right now, so I'm going to put that in. Okay, so I like to do the rest of my face first before I do my eye look. I don't know why, it's just me. So I'm going to use the Bronze Booster by Physicians Formula in Light to Medium. This is not a new product to me. I've had it for some time now, but I haven't really used it too much. So I'm going to kind of play with it and hope that it works out here. I'm going to use a Real Techniques blush brush. I feel like I've used nothing but Real Techniques in this video, but not intentionally, just because that's what I typically use. I'm going to hit the temples, my cheekbones, and under the neck, or under the jaw. Can you guys tell a huge difference? Mother's Day is next weekend and I literally have no idea what to get my mom. My mom loves like chunky jewelry, costume jewelry, stuff like that, especially rings. And ever since I introduced her to Amazon Prime, or just Amazon in general, she has done nothing but buy a bunch of like costume jewelry off Amazon. That's like $3 and $4. So she doesn't need jewelry, but I literally have no idea what to get her other than that. For blush, I'm going to go bold and use this Milani Baked blush in the color Bella Rosa, which is like this bright, bright, bright red coral color. I mean, like crazy bright. And I'm going to take it on a stipple brush. This is a Dual Fiber Powder slash Blush Brush F15 from Sigma. I'm just going to dab it in the blush, and then I'm going to take it on the back of my hand and then put it to the apples of my cheeks. Not too much color, but just enough to kind of make a difference. And then before I go in with highlight, I've actually been using this as like a substitute for my ambient lighting powders. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon. It's bronzer, SPF 15. It's in Reserve Your Cabana. For me, it's too light to be a highlight, so instead I use it as an all-over face powder. I'm going to go back in with the multitask brush and, like I said, kind of put this on like I would my ambient lighting powders, and you will see it reacts the same way. Like, it gives you that glow to the skin. It kind of evens everything out. I mean, it just makes a huge difference. Hopefully you guys can see the difference. Like, you can see here where my blush is kind of harsh, and here everything just kind of blends in together. big difference. Now I'm going to go back in with highlighter. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. And I'm just going to take a tapered F35 from Sigma, roll that around because I love my highlighter, and hit the tops of my cheekbones. And then I also like to sweep it under my eyebrow. So for tight line, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Silkissime eyeliner in charcoal. This was with the eyeliner, was the eyeliner that I told you guys I butchered with my old sharpener. So I did get the, whatever the one from the Grindhouse from Urban Decay, and it saved it. I mean, it made it a little nubby, but it saved it for the most part. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to tight line with this. And then for eyeshadows, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I actually don't think I've done a face of the day with this. I may have, but I really don't think so. I actually haven't used this palette much, to be honest, because I have so many palettes that I just forget everything that I have. I'm going to add my transition color first. I'm just using a Coastal Scents, I don't know, eyeliner brush. It's from that new like white pearlized handle collection, and I'm going to use the color, actually I'm going to mix Mousse and Peanut Butter, which are the two like light mattes. One's more of a warm matte and one's more of a cool tone matte, and brown, and then I'm just going to mix those and add them to my crease. So maybe you guys can give me a little bit of advice. Emmy has been really struggling at school. Right now she's in pre-K, and she's really been struggling in school for attention. I had a parent-teacher conference with her teacher the other day, and she just has really been, like I said, struggling for that extra needed attention in class. And the teacher seems to think that it may be because, you know, of Maddie, and she's not used to having to share her time with us and with Andres and I and the rest of the family. But, you know, Maddie's 19 months now. I'm wondering if I don't know, if it's coming across in a different way than it used to. I mean, she never regressed. Like, I never had problems with her sucking her thumb or wanting to be a baby or having accidents in her pants or anything like that. But I did have problems in the beginning with her wanting to get more attention, like when we were all together as a family, but it never reflected in school. Like, she never showed signs of struggling, you know, with nap time or struggling with listening or using her manners or anything like that, and it's starting to translate into that. And so I'm wondering if, like, what has changed, and I'm wondering if any of you guys have older children and who have younger siblings, if this is like a part of the phase. Will she start to grow out of it? Is there something I should be doing? We have extra time. We always do like something with her when I'm off, because I've noticed she's been craving more of my attention when I'm off, not wanting me to go to work, and you know, wanting to make sure I tuck her in and not Andres, or both of us, but not just him if I'm home. She's fine with him if he's here by himself, but if I'm here, like, she prefers to be with me. Is that something that I should worry about? Like, is it just a phase that she's going through? I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe some of you moms out there that have like children that have a 4-year age gap have gone through the same thing. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious. I'm always willing to get advice from others. Okay, now on the lid, I'm going to do Rum Raisin, which is this one right here. I was tossed up between Rum Raisin and Frosting. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go warmer with it or more cool toned, but I think I'm going to go cool toned. And I'm just taking an E25 blending from Sigma, dipping that in, and I'm just going to sweep it all over the lid. I'm going to put a little bit of a darker color in the outer crease. I think I'm going to do Hot Fudge, which is this color right here, this top one. It's funny because in the vlog that I put up not that long ago on my vlog channel, that was titled Catch Up With My Babies or something like that. A lot of you were saying like it had been so long, you couldn't even believe that Maddie was running, not even just walking, like running, and she is a riot. You know, it's funny because when we got Emmy, she was about the same age as Maddie. She was like 18 months, and she was a little delayed, so she didn't start doing things until she was, as far as like saying word, like the only word she knew was no, and she really couldn't convey her emotions. She didn't act out in any way. She was very chill, very laid back. She didn't have any tantrums. Like, she just was very, I almost remember thinking, oh my gosh, she's not going to go through terrible twos. Like, there's something wrong here, because don't all children go through terrible twos? Like, and I just kept thinking, she came from such a broken home, something would eventually have to come to head, and she never went through any of it. She was a perfect little girl. She never had any issues. She always listened. She was always well mannered and everything. And I find as she's getting older, she's starting to have more behavioral issues, more of like testing, like, Emmy, mommy told you to do this, and she's like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, I have to remind her of things over and over again. She never used to be like that. And I think as she's getting older, she's not dumb, she's getting smart. She's like, oh, I can dust her more. But Maddie, oh Lord, that child is gonna find herself in timeout real quick. She is, like I said, 19 months. She loves to test me already. I will sit there and say, Maddie, mommy told you no. And she'll look at me and she'll do it anyway. And she knows, she's very intelligent. Like, she is, I feel like, super smart for her age. And I'm not sure if it's just because Emmy was a little delayed, so it's weird for me to see her know so many things so early, because Emmy didn't start learning some of the things that Maddie knows now until she was like 2 or a little over 2. Like, it didn't start until she really started preschool did she start to learn any of those things, because she was a little delayed because of where she was brought up. But Maddie has been in preschool since she was 9 months, so that could have a lot to do with her learning. But she talks so much too, like, she knows so many words. That child, I swear, will sit there and just look at you and be completely defiant. I'm just like, oh my god, terrible twos at 1.5. I'm gonna put some of the coconut cream, which is the large matte white, like creamish color, up on my brow bone highlight. I'm gonna go back into the rum raisin and drag that on my lower lash line. Typically I would do like a liner of some sort. I think I'm actually, to make it a little bit smokier, I'm gonna take licorice. Should I take licorice or hot fudge? No, I'm gonna take licorice, which is the black in the palette, and kind of smoke it out at my lash line, at my upper lash line, I guess I should say. I think to bring a little bit more light, it went a little bit more smoky than I was anticipating. I'm going to take some of the butter pecan, which is the biggest one here. It's more of like a shimmery cream color. I'm just going to plop that on the center of the lid. I curl my lashes, and I'm going to apply 2 coats of each of the Milani Runway Lash Mascara and then the Too Faced Lash Injection. I'm going to do NYX Butter Lipstick in the color Pops, which is a very neutral taupey mauve color. Very neutral. And then on top of it, I'm going to put some Smashbox, what are these called? Be Legendary Longwear Lip Lacquer in Keepsake, which is like a nudie pink. This is actually a really pretty color. It reminds me a lot of Syrup from MAC. Just like your lips but better, throw it on and go. I don't even know that I want this. Let me see what it looks like. these smell so good. Yeah, looks good. So that is the final look. Let me pull out my hair. Very neutral. I mean, even though like it's more smoky than I actually wanted to go, it's still very neutral and daytime appropriate. It's not, even though I'm going out later tonight, it's not like I wouldn't wear this out during the day or anything like that. And especially with the lip color, I think if I had put on a bright lip, it would have definitely made it a lot more nighttime appropriate. This tones it down to daytime for sure. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed catching up and chit-chatting with me just for a little bit. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought, if you like these types of videos or if you rather see them without me talking and sped up for 4 minutes with music in the background. I can definitely continue to do face of the days like that instead of chit chat get ready with me videos. But let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed, like I said, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!